This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, today in history, just a little throwback. In 1984, Sandy Lerner and Leonard Bozak, two professors in different academic departments at Stanford, were frustrated with their difficulty in communicating by computer and founded Cisco Systems Incorporated to make an improved network switching equipment. Of course, 1984, probably the height of 3Com and a lot of their networking cards. It all didn't work that well, and of course, routers were in their infancy. Just 10 years earlier, a simple router that would connect a couple of academic institutions was the size of a refrigerator. Of course, you get that in the size of a pack of cigarettes today. But even back then, you could get fairly card-sized networking cards. But kind of interesting that Cisco goes back to this day in 1984. I had a little question about patents to catch up with yesterday's show. The thing that everybody is truly looking at in these patents is a issue with whether or not this is the issue going before the Supreme Court. Basically, they had an escrow agent as part of a financial transaction. And since they put it into software, they're saying that they can patent it just because the process was once done with humans doing the exact same process applies, and a patent would apply by doing it in software. One of the tenets of being a patent is it's not obvious. And I think that when it gets to the Supreme Court, we're probably going to see a lot of these patents breached on the obvious level in the courts. But just to kind of follow up from yesterday, Icon Enterprises, IEP, was down 7% pre-market after announcing the sale of 2 million depository units representing limited partnerships in the interest in the company. He's always complaining about people watering down his stock and not doing much, but they just got down a little bit, hosed down today by the Godfather. If you want to keep an eye on what he's up to, the IEP is his ETF, but they were down 7% pre-market. I didn't have a chance to check later in the day. Also, on Friday's show, we were talking about business plans and how they apply to things like pie in the sky, things like the drone delivery by Amazon. And I brought up that it is illegal to run a for-profit business using drones now. And even if Jeff Bezos wants to, there's absolutely no idea how the FAA will rule. Their first ruling actually won't even be till 2015. So anytime we hear these pie-in-the-sky things, especially when it has to do with something in the government, in this case it would be two things. One, the FCC, the radio talking to the drone, and two, the FAA, the drone in the airspace. And you can just had a lot of pie-in-the-sky stuff last week, probably based on light news days. As a follow-up, we talked about in the Thanksgiving show as one of the best little gifts to give out there for $35 is Google's Chromecast. One of the things they did was add 10 new apps out there for it today. Songsta, Vivo, Plex, Red Bull TV, Revision 3 Post TV, Viki, Beyond Pod, Real Player Cloud, and Avaya. So starting to get a lot of developers adding additional things. And for $35, in fact, I've seen it for sale for down to around $28. Pretty easy to hook up your HD TV for watching things like Netflix, other things like that. We're going to have a bevy of IPOs this week. We're going to try to go through these fairly quick on this shortened edition of the Power Trading Hour. We're going to have twice the power in half the time. Amarak Holdings, symbol is going to be ARMK, provider of food and facilities management. If you've ever been to a convention, you'll see these folks everywhere. Plan to raise $779 million by offering 36.3 million shares at a price range of 20 to 23. Auto Home, this is a China listing. I'm rather dubious of it. ATHM is going to be the symbol. That's a leading provider of online auto information. I think they've got enough pollution over already, offering 7.8 million shares at a price range of 12 to 14 bucks. Ketchmark Timber Trust, CTT. Now, this is a trust. Again, this isn't like a real company. This is just an income stream that they're selling. It is a REIT engaged in the ownership and management of timberlands in the U.S. Plans to raise $150 million by offering 10.5 million shares at a price range of 13.50. 13 and a half bucks. We'll just say that, 15 bucks. Maybe my stalker after the show will talk about how he feels about all the oil leases that people bought and sold over the years. I don't know if he was ever involved in that. I knew a lot of people who got bit by that whole oil lease thing, and this whole REIT limited partnership thing just seems as a bigger way to catch people in these oil lease deals. To me, anyway. Shinari Energy Partners, again, another one of these LP holdings. Limited partnership is going to be CQH, which owns a 55.9% limited interest in the Shinari Partners CQP. Plans to raise $600 million by offering 30 million shares, a range of 19 to 21 bucks. Fidelity and Guaranteed Life, FGL, a life insurance provider targeting middle-income Americans, plans to raise $176 million, offering 9.8 million shares at a price range of 17 to 19 million bucks, or 17 to 19 dollars. Hilton Worldwide, HLT, probably the one I'm interested in, the world's largest hotel chains, plans to raise $2.2 billion. Finally, a IPO for the real reason of raising money, offering 112 million shares at a price range of 18 to 21. Kindred Biosciences, symbol will be a KIN, a clinical stage biotech developing pet therapeutics, plans to raise $40 million by offering 5.8 million shares, somewhere between 6 and 8. I think this is the second or third time they've tried to push this out. It may be another one with a similar name, but certainly sounds familiar to me. Nimble Storage sells hybrid flash disk storage drives to enterprise, plans to raise $136 million. Of course, we've seen that business really go to hell in a handbasket based on non-volatile RAM sales. This symbol is going to be NMBL, but all we have to do is look at some of these other companies that have had to sell out, or even the darlings of that sector, like FIO, taking a beating like a redheaded stepchild. Kind of funny to see this trying to come out and raise 136 million shares. Not high on it. Scorpio Bulkers. Now, this is kind of interesting to see a bulk shipper trying to come to market here. Symbol will be SALT. Recently formed dry bulk shipping company, plans to raise 151 million. Sounds like almost nothing. I guess they have to lease ships and stuff, but 151 million doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. Offering 15.5 million shares at a price range of $9.75 to $9.75. Well, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Valero Energy Partners, yet another one of these limited partnerships. Just smacks me of the whole oil lease deals, especially with a lot of people thinking that the oil prices are going to go down significantly next year. That partnership owns a pipeline and logistic assets, plans to raise $300 million by offering 15 million shares, somewhere between 19 and 21 bucks. So anyway, that's it. You can always give me a call, 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. I'd love to hear what you have to say. We're going to get into charts pretty quick. We still got enough time in this segment. Let's see if I've got, I don't have my IM up at the moment, but hopefully everything is going well. Phantom income, Dave. Huh. Well, maybe you'll talk about that. Andy's in the den saying ugly tax problems out of the oil and gas limited partnerships in the 80s on phantom income. That's what I said. These things just smack me of all those horrible oil leases that people lost their shirts and their posteriors on. But not much. Still off a little less than 5 points on the S&P cash. So going to be a quiet day, I think, for several days out here. Let's get some charts up here, start looking at them. Maybe we'll see how some of these gold stocks were moving. What do we have? Scans, test. I wanted to look at a couple of these things, see how well we're doing. Let's get this set down just a little bit more. Diamond Foods, I think we brought this up the other day. This, of course, a kind of fraudulent accounting. Let's just take a little bit bigger look at this thing. In fact, go back even more. This thing was a $96 stock on September 21st of 2011. Of course, that accounting scam pretty much drove this thing down to a low of under $13. It's going to be a continuing issue. Chart is small. Okay, we'll make the chart larger. There we go. And what do I have? Anyway, I was kind of looking at this last night a little bit. If we're probably, normally you'll get a push down to the lows. You still have an untested low at $12.85 with some decent volume. It got into that candle, but it hasn't tested it. My guess is that you still have one more test of the $12.85. Of course, these are the guys that sell nuts and all that kind of stuff. But it's back up where we had 2 million shares on May 23rd, 2012. And, of course, what do we have but 1.3 million shares a couple of days ago and very light volume. A lot of these look like they are pressing against these highs. Freeport, McMoran, copper, and gold. Not a lot of movement in this one today. You got a nice little pop-up and a doji out of this, but certainly not a lot of volume. Kind of seeing the same thing in gold. You would have liked to seen the contract doing a little bit better. Dave, were you getting a 10 target gold 1-to-1,618? I'll take a look at that in a moment. We'll get a few more of these. Another one is Infosys Systems, INFY. This one gapped down on horrifically high volume. That actually happened on, what is that, April 13th of 2012. Came down with almost 10 million shares. It finally came back up in February 25th of this year. Tried to get into it with 4 million shares. We're right in that same level. And when you look at this last time, we were in up here on the 19th of November with less than 1 million shares, 1.3 million shares here today. But a lot of these stocks, even going up into the end of the year, hitting these levels that are pretty hard resistance level. Take a quick look at GLD also. And, to tell you the truth, energy up, energy down in the gold ETF. Let's take just a little lighter view out here. I mean, it is a little lighter on this last leg. We've got a nice gap up. Of course, at least on the GLD, a little lower than the open. But we'll have to see how this day comes out. Certainly not a sign of strength so far today. Smallish candle, and of course not the kind of volume. And you're at the bottom of that September 18th low, 125.15. You're gonna have to take a little while to get into that. But at a high of 122.32 today on the GLD. Not a rousing endorsement on this gap up. I'm still hoping, and again, I wouldn't be shorting gold here, but I'm still hoping I get a pullback to this low of June 28th, 114.68, with 32 million shares. So you can always give me a call, 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648, and we'll work out this deal. I had a question in the den about Google, so let's take a look at that. Trying to figure out what we're looking at here. Question is, do we have an ABC projection up long term on this? So let's take a look. So you got, let's take a look at the expansions out here. 844, see if we got that one. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, we've got a 1,097 from probably the better ABC out here, starting on November 16th of 2012. We'll look at this when we come back in just a minute.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
And we've got Andy Hecht. I see him right around the corner. Kind of peeps his head out every once in a while. Of course, he stalks me on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at TFNN. And we'll look forward to, maybe he'll discuss limited partnerships in the 80s that he discussed out there. Maybe he can even talk a little bit about the premium. It's been a huge discussion on the financial infotainment shows. Most people are saying right now it's somewhere around $15 a barrel. Maybe he's got a different number for that, or maybe he's got a different view on it. But kind of interesting. I think a lot of people are adding a little bit of a premium now, and a little worried that the Israeli prime minister didn't go to the funeral in South Africa. Been hearing a little bit about that. They're always worried about whether or not the Israelis are just going to go ahead and take on Iran by themselves. But we'll see. But the Andy Hecto. Anyway, interesting day. I had a question in the den about how to pick the best ABC using timing the trade charts. A little bit of it is trying to catch the major waves, which the software does already. But normally you want to see these waves somewhere between 7 and 21 days. In swing trading, I've done a lot of research, and that's pretty much what I want to see. And that's 21 trading days. I suspect that is because that's pretty much the length before you go in and out of options expiration every month. But normally you're going to see those waves kind of in that same kind of time frame. We're looking at Google right now. And when you look at those kind of swings, you do want to see those stair steps. Now, can you continue to do ABC up after ABC up? The answer is yes. In this case, we're talking about a 1-to-1-618 that would take us up to 1,097.80. And, of course, that's only, another 15 points on Google. And I think you would probably be using that one in this case, mostly because of the monstrous gap that's probably going to get filled. That gap goes down to about 880 and up to about 980, something like that. Yeah, probably pretty close, 975. So when we look at that gap, a good indication that you're probably not going to get the next ABC until you get this gap filled would mean that you're probably looking at a pullback to the previous high, and that would be at the 928. So in this case, I would take the first ABC, even though it only retraced just a little less than 40%, mostly because you're up at these levels, and that's going to give you the longest extended ABC, even though you pulled one back. Secondarily, if you had a 1-to-1 ABC, the April 18th to July 15th leg sets up the AB. Your C comes into October 9th, and you're basically in pretty much the same kind of 1-to-1 that you're in now. And, of course, if we look at that one, you got a 50% retracement on it. But we've already gone through the 1-to-1 on that one, and we're up to the 1-to-1-382 at 1073. But we've got a matching 1-to-1 1.5 at 1093, along with that other one that came out there almost at the same price. You're probably saying that you now have two ABCs. They're both projecting a similar number out there, and the confluence of evidence would probably say that you're going to get to 1100 and test it and then close back below it, and that would be it. Anyway, look forward to Andy's show following me. I always feel like someone's watching me. I'm going to have to play that a few times next show. Anyway, I look forward to Andy. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.